This is the craziest man alive, also known as the Liver King. Now, for those who don't know, it's probably important for me to provide a brief history before we get into this, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now, his story essentially started when he went on every podcast known to man, preaching about how to live a healthier life, and how to essentially talk about how to become healthier, how to eat healthier, and he did that through eating raw meat and things like liver. And along Liver King's rise to fame, he essentially met another guy named Derek, more plates, more dates. And this is a guy where he would talk about girls, cold approaches, how to get women, but also how to get bigger at the gym. He's sort of like a fitness influencer, even though that name is kind of like derogatory at this point, that he usually sort of started to deviate into more pharmacology, pharmacokinetics, things like injecting exogenous hormones in the body and PED usage, and how to use PEDs to help get a better physique and things like that, but also the effects they had. And what people don't know is that he had this document in his email. Derek looked at it, checked it out, and it turns out that it pretty much admitted that Liver King was taking PEDs, which is really weird because when he was on those podcasts, he would talk about his natural status, or as gym bros like to say, or the gym community likes to say, the natty status, which is basically saying he achieved his natural body or physique basically by eating liver, when in reality, he just took steroids. And that pretty much caused the decline of his career. And ever since then, his career has pretty much been on a fast decline, the fastest decline actually. And now he's calling out Joe Rogan. I mean, some of these videos, he looked like he sucked up a Smurf's cum and drained that shit straight from someone's blue nutsack. I mean, either that or he's eating blue Takis. I don't even understand it. Why is he doing this? Every video he keeps challenging Joe Rogan to a fight. It makes no sense. Check out some of these videos, look.
Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King. Man to man. I'm picking a fight with you. Yeah. Just pulling up. Guess what? You're dead, bitch. Going to jail. What I'm hoping is that you, Joe Rogan, are thinking, I'm gonna choke that motherfucker out.
As you can see, it's really clear that the Liver King has Joe Rogan's nutsack straight in his fucking mouth. He will not stop talking about him. He wants to keep fighting him. He keeps saying it's about family. I don't understand why it's about family. He also went on Instagram again talking about Wi-Fi. Do people think you use Wi-Fi? And the password is fuck you, Joe Rogan.
Do you have free Wi-Fi? Yeah, we have free Wi-Fi everywhere we're going. The password is fuck you, Joe Rogan. Fuck you, Joe. But it's only one time, not twice.
And all this shit. Like, he keeps bringing up his name, and I don't understand why. Ooh, there is speculation, and I'll show you the clip why. Because I'm pretty sure he wanted to be on Joe Rogan's podcast, but Joe didn't want to have him on, and so now he's talking about fighting him and how he wants to go on. And that's pretty much the crux of the situation.
Have you seen Liver King recently?
No, what's going on?
He seems like, I don't know, like borderline schizophrenic now.
Is that also, I think he was mentally ill, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I would have, listen, let me just classify my definition of mentally illness as someone who lies. I think that's a mental illness.
Okay. Yeah.
I think lying when it's really obvious.
Yeah.
You're lying about taking steroids when it's super obvious you're on steroids. Mm-hmm. You're 46 years old. You look like a fucking superhero. And you're right. You're just super jacked.
Yeah.
You know, and then gets caught. Just guys, juice to the tits. Obviously, for a guy like you or a guy like me, we look at a guy like that, like, you've got to be on the juice. You don't even look remotely normal.
My boy's been tweaking so bad that he low-key kind of reminds me of this gorilla meme for some reason. And also his pupil's a bit dilated. People were saying that it was drugs or something, but it's only one eye, so I think it could have been an injury, which is what a lot of people have said, that it was a past or prior injury. And apparently he's in jail now. But I've got some exclusive footage that no other channel has. He also got an ankle monitor, but I'll keep you updated. I'll show you the footage and everything. We also know he was just out of jail and he went in and got out, and he probably has a restraining order too because he now has an ankle monitor and is running around with it everywhere and exercising with it. And I guess, I don't know, maybe he's using one of the 9 ancestral tenets of fucking foot massages. I don't know what it is. But he's looking at his ankle monitor talking about how it grows strength on his bones and his muscles and shit.
Like that. Making my ankle strong for that.
And we know he just got out of jail because here he is talking about his food or whatever and how he smells good because he's no longer in jail and he just had a shower and shit.
Handsome because I just had to wash the jail off of me.
His wife is actually filmed on his own Instagram account. I think his manager behind the screen also goes on to talk about how they're going to talk to the judge or how he's going to be on lockdown for 24 hours and things like that. It also seems as though his wife couldn't give any less of a shit. And it's also weird because the Liver King is a father and has like 2 kids and a wife.
Just take this with a grain of salt, but they assured me he's going to be in and out.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to process you. He'll bail out, but we're talking probably 24 hours.
Yeah, it says Liver King was charged with making terroristic threats. This dude is a breathing example of how social media can destroy your life. Yep, completely agree. Talking about 12 ancestral tenants in the 4 seasons is hilarious. That's exactly where they are right now for those who are concerned. Getting the Rogans mixed up, common error. He was calling him Seth Rogen because he didn't want to get caught calling him Joe Rogan because that would mean he would have to get detained again. Tweaker King, what ancestral tenant is this? And then there's a little bit of information talking about the situation here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to also check out my previous video where I talk about why entertainment sucks. I think you'll really enjoy that one. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, big dogs.